One of the worst feelings in the world is feeling left out, and I think we've all felt that. That one thing is being glazed by everyone unanimously, and then you take a bite out of that Popeye's chicken sandwich and you're like,
I mean, it's alright, like, overrated as fuck in my opinion.
But you saw the title. Let's get into the rare times that the stars align and you feel the praise is justified. Hold on, bars.
I would never cry to a Frank Ocean song, let's be honest. I am a
Blonde was really my intro to falling in love with music as an art form. Before it, I was on my XXXTentacion era, but it all changed with Blonde. Christmas Day 2020, every Christmas I'd tend to play the new video game I got and listen to music. And I was gonna listen to Whole Lotta Red because it dropped that day, but everyone kept calling it ass. So instead, I skipped on it. I listened to Blonde because I heard a lot of people praising it, but my first listen I quit because I heard that squeaky ass voice on Nikes and I was like, there's no way y'all are seriously praising this. But then I kept listening, and when I got to Nights, that beat switch happened. And my world completely flipped upside down since then. I kept listening, finished the album, and honestly, I've never had an experience with art like that ever since. That first listen of Blonde felt like I was on another planet. Pretty Sweet was playing, and I was like, what the fuck is happening to my body? Self-Control was one of the first times I really felt like I was emotionally there with a song. I remember visiting my grandma that Christmas and really just being in my own world the whole time. Whenever people would talk to me, I was just thinking about Blonde the whole day. It's still to this day my favorite album of all time.
Ratatouille.
Man, this was the highest rated movie of all time when it came out. I remember being way too broke to buy a movie ticket at the time that it came out. It took me a whole 2 months after it came out for me to finally be able to watch it. And it was me begging my dad to rent it. And I'm not gonna lie, the first like 30 minutes of the movie, I was like, not again. Another thing that was super praised and I just wasn't feeling. But as soon as they stopped yapping with all them damn exposition dumps and Jobu Tupaki came in, you could say I was sucked in. At the end of the movie, I was emotionally overwhelmed and damn near cried like 5 different times. I remember when it ended, I just sat there for like a whole 30 seconds in silence. I rewatched it like 6 times since because there's so much little details and sound effects and little things here and there that you don't really catch on the first watch. And I always have an excuse to rewatch it because I genuinely think it might be the best movie to watch with friends over. I love weird movies, but this movie is weird in an accessible way. It's great for laughs, and if you don't get emotional at least once during this movie, you might just be a robot. This is praised in a different way than most albums are. It is constantly labeled the most sad album of all time. But for me, if you tell me I'm gonna feel sad before I listen to an album, I probably won't. It's like if somebody tells you before you watch a movie the ending is sad. Like if I see it coming, I can acknowledge that, yeah, this is well written in a sad way, but it probably won't make me feel sad. But this album was different. From track 1, I immediately was like, oh shit, they're right. Not knowing the content of this album, I wanted to be a funny little silly boy and tell people that I worked out during my first listen of this album. So I started lifting weights, and by the end of the first song, I quit my whole workout. Literally every song on this thing is a rough listen. When I first heard this lyric off of Swims, I genuinely wanted to stop listening. At this point on the album, I was like, no, this can't be real. I still to this day haven't given this album a second listen. But yes, it easily deserves the crown for saddest album ever. The closing line on it might be the strongest closing line I've ever heard. This one's a little different because it wasn't something that was praised before I saw it, because I didn't know what anyone thought about it at all. I'm the most spoiler-phobic human being on the planet. I don't even watch trailers. I like to go into things as blind as possible. But unfortunately, I could not watch this movie on opening night because I was on a cruise. I got back off the cruise on Sunday and went to watch the movie on Monday. I swear my screen time for those like 4 days that the movie was out was probably like 5 minutes just to avoid spoilers. So yeah, that lets you know how hyped I was for this movie. But then me and my family went there to watch the movie, and the opening sequence happened with Gwen on the drums. And during it, I swear to God, I look over to my brother and say, this is the sexiest animation I've ever seen in my life. And yeah, this is probably the best looking movie I have ever seen to this day. Spider-Punk looks so fucking cool. The spot looks so cool. The watercolor world looks so cool. Everything was just eye sex. The story was just as good and honestly pretty relatable. The cliffhanger ending is hated on, but I think it's going to pay off. I know that it feels kind of abrupt, but we are all invested in the creator of this. How don't y'all feel that tingly feeling in your stomach when that music is building up? It's all coming together. What's gonna happen? Oh my god. When it ended, the people that really understood how great it was were like, I can't wait to see what he does next.
Here's to the ones who dream, foolish as they may seem. Here's to the hearts that ache. Here's to the mess we make. She